go live, so it'll catch up.
All right, going live. Woo! How's that?
That's good. I just swatch my whip.
All right, just one that you don't need to concentrate.
Yeah, I just wasn't happy with the short rows. I think I'm going to go back to doing German short rows because I just find those neater.
All right, okay.
Or possibly shadow wraps.
Yeah. So what are you making there?
This is in Stillness
Ah, yeah, yeah,
from Alicia. So
yeah.
that's the back. And then the front has the same texture and the sleeves are just plain.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm just at the last row of the texture pattern, and from then on it's going to be plain.
Cool.
I'll just have to get to the right stitch counts for the separating for the body and sleeves and all that stuff.
Excellent.
So what have you got
Um,
for you tonight?
oh, what on my needles on the go?
Hmm.
I got a surprise for you.
Ooh.
I got something that you didn't know that I was doing. I started it yesterday and I've got quite far. I'm nearly finished. And it's going to be called Trolleys. Do you like them?
Yeah, you're doing short rows for the bum and things like that.
No, nothing as complicated as that. Just plain. The nappy will fit in there, it'll be fine. I think if she was using what do you call them? Terry towel and
Days.
nappies,
Yeah.
need something. But for a disposable bum, I think they're giving enough.
Yeah.
Does that simulate a full bottom?
It does look like a full bottom.
So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how they came out
Is
actually.
that a light grey?
That is a very light grey, yes. It's the same grey that I used in another project, which is I used it in quite a few projects. Hang on. I like this one. I don't know who this one's by.
Oh, some old bat.
I'm not sure. I do need to find a popper for it so that I can put a popper on
Just
this
on the
front,
inside,
yeah,
yeah.
and then it can just be press stud poppered, and then hang on.
Yeah, I mean, I put in about how you can do the buttonholes if you want buttons on the inside, but I think for me, I'd go for poppers because it's just easier.
It is much easier.
Who wants the faff of fastening several buttons on the inside
Exactly. So
on
yeah,
on a wriggly baby?
it's going to have a nice little popper. Michelle's with us.
Hi, Michelle, how you doing?
So you're
How's
going to
the jumper of doom coming along?
have what's she doing?
The jumper of doom, I was asking.
Oh, the jumper of doom. I think Michelle's got 3 on the go now. Um,
Amateur.
I know, I know. It's just quite shocking, really, isn't it? She says when she's actually only got, well, I think I've got 2. I don't think yeah, I think I've only got 2 at the minute because I cast this one off. Wasn't yesterday, was it? Was it the day before I cast it off?
I
Yeah, it was
think
the day
so.
before because I started this one yesterday. So they'll go quite well together, actually.
They will.
Trolleys and cardi. I might do a little top to go with that. So I need a new sign. I
What,
need
like a little vest or something, or a little tee?
a little T. I think I'll do a little T. But I haven't really thought about it much yet. Other than that, I think I'll do it in pink. I'm getting really varied with my colours now, aren't I?
What, between pink and grey? Well, I mean, when I first met you, pink was unthinkable.
I still don't like pink. It's only because it's for somebody else.
Yeah,
That's the colour that they've requested.
for a baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I will be doing that jumper for my mum. I don't know, did I put the wool in here? I kind of put it in here.
While I remember, for anyone that was watching on Sunday when Alicia Plummer was with us, and she said that the word campsite, all in lowercase, one word, 2020, was the code for her patterns. It's active now until the 1st of August, and the knit along starts 1st of August. When she spoke to us on Sunday, she gave us the impression that that's when the discount and the sale was.
Yeah.
It's right now, and the code is working.
I thought I had to wait until the 1st of August to use the code. So I have this afternoon been a very naughty lady and just bought the campsite pullover. Shall I share it?
Yeah.
Let's see. I am so slow at this whole sharey thing. Right. Share screen. Share screen.
Hair's looking nice.
Chrome tab. Oh, thank you. It's still a bit dark. I washed it in the purple shampoo.
It looks lighter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. What I did was I got the purple shampoo and the purple conditioner out of hibernation, and I used them both. But last time I used it, my hair didn't really go very curly or anything, so I put my normal curly conditioner on afterwards, and that seems to have worked.
Yeah.
Right, so I bought this one this afternoon, the campsite pullover, which is the raglan knitted in the round. Knit the top bit first flat, and then you come down and do this bit in the round. The code worked, so that was good. My husband treated me to that, not that he knows yet.
Well, he might if he's watching. Are you watching tonight, Phil? Are you going to say hello?
I don't think he's watching tonight. I think if he was watching, he'd watch on a Sunday afternoon.
All right.
So,
he likes the guests, does he?
Maybe, yeah, maybe that's what it is. He probably thinks that I'm just a bit boring. So, I'm going to make that for my mum, although she has requested short sleeves, and I'm going to make it in the Stylecraft Bellissima.
That's a beautiful colour.
An ash rose colour. Now, it actually is a bit more plummy than what's showing on there. You may wonder why Emma has ash rose in her stash, because this is not an Emma colour.
I know why you've got that in your stash.
Go on then, why have I got this in my stash?
It was a prize for a design thing.
It was a prize for a design thing, which I was a bit annoyed with, because they printed my name, address and email
and phone number
in the magazine, which was highly annoying. Said they couldn't remove it from the printed copy, which I completely understand. Said they would remove it from the digital copy, but they never did. And then when I got the prize, myself and another lady came in as runners-up. Someone else won, and they got their pattern published, and they got loads of other stuff. And we both got the exact same pack. So it was 5 of those Stylecrafts and 4 of these Dreamcatcher thingies, which are all absolutely lovely yarns. However, we were both under the impression that we were going to get a choice of colour.
Right.
And we didn't. We literally got we both got these colours. Because I'd already, in my mind, when I'd entered, picked out what I thought I might like.
Oops.
With designs in mind, and you didn't even get a chance. It literally was announced and then just posted out to us, which, you know, it's nice to get yarn, but I don't get free yarn very often, and it would have been nice to just be able to choose what I wanted, really.
Oh, keep calm and knit on.
Well, it's been sat there in my stash for ages. I didn't know what to do with it because, like I say, that pink is not an Emma colour.
The dream catcher would make a lovely blanket, you know, like a baby blanket or a nursing shawl.
It's got like a bit of a halo, and I think it might annoy a baby. It is a bit itchy.
Is it?
I don't know if that's showing up on the camera.
Oh, it is a bit hairy.
Yeah, and just picking it up there, I think if you put that near like a baby's face, it's just gonna irritate.
Oh, it'll toughen it up. Blooming wimps. Toughen them up. Start them young. Brillo pads for jumpers, you know.
Just sitting there crying all day long.
Yeah.
Nah, feed me.
Yeah, wuss. Absolute wusses. No patience.
What are we going to do with them? Naughty kids.
Well, I got out some yarn. I showed you it last week, didn't I? The terracotta.
Yeah.
So that's the, I think it's Soda cotton double knit, 100 gram, 232 yards. How far away I'm having to hold this to read it. My baby focals on. 40 degrees wool cycle, it says.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be lucky in this house. It'll just get thrown in and whatever I remember it to go in. But I thought I might as well just cast on a wee bit of the campside cardie. Let's see how that's knitting up. Now that's on a 5mm needle, and I'm not sure if that's not looser than I would like. I don't know whether to knit a few more inches and just see how I feel about it. And then I can just pull it back and cast on as and when the time is right. I just put the minimum number of stitches on because I like to swatch with sort of a realistic sized piece, as you know. But I think it's quite pretty.
It's pretty, but
I just feel like it could have a bit more substance, you know.
But being cotton, it's not gonna have the elasticity, is it? So if you're not happy with the tension at the minute, I don't think you're going to be happy with the tension when you're getting into your full size.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I may swatch again with 4mm needles and go up a size.
Yeah,
and see what I think. Because being top down raglan, I can always adjust the shaping as I go. Michelle at this point is staring at the wall thinking, what?
Michelle actually knows what she's doing because I've been round this morning.
And how's she getting on with homegrown? Have you solved the minor panic?
Apparently homegrown is also is being worked on.
Oh.
Now I went round this morning because she was having an issue with all her stitches at one side, and Michelle won't mind me telling you this because, and I can see exactly what she's done. Alicia's written the pattern, and being an experienced knitter, I have literally just known exactly what the construction is, gone with it, followed the instructions, not a problem. But what she's done is she's put an asterisk, then put knit to one stitch before marker, and then done like the increase and the marker, and then she's put another asterisk and then written 4 times. Okay, so somebody who's never done a raglan like that before, Michelle didn't really realize that she was supposed to do within the asterisks is 4 times. I said that in my patterns I would have put the 1 asterisk, would have put a full stop and said repeat from asterisks 4 times.
Or put those instructions in a bracket.
Yeah, it just wasn't explicit enough for somebody who's never made a jumper of that construction.
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, Michelle was getting in a bit of a tiz with it. But I believe we could be all right now. And I have persuaded her because I made the 2nd size. And again, I'm sure Michelle wouldn't mind me saying, but my girls are a little bit bigger than Michelle's. and she was going to make the second size, and I said no, make the first size.
Yeah.
So
The only thing to be aware of is sort of the torso length, isn't it?
but you can just
If you've
add,
got a longer torso, just add a few inches under the arms.
and I think Michelle's planning to add some extra rounds before the bottom anyway, so
Yeah.
it's all going to work out fine. But hopefully, fingers crossed, she says she's highlighting her pattern.
Awesome. Well done.
Told her to do. So yeah, seems like all is good in Michelle's knitting world at the moment.
Marvellous.
Have we got a brew? I've got my rude mug.
A bucket of cold tea because I forgot to fill it up before we started.
Oops. Why didn't you do that when I went for my emergency wee?
Well, the dogs are looking after me at the moment because I'm just a bit tired today. So they've pressed me onto the sofa most of the day.
Oh.
I did manage to do 15 minutes of running front of the house, back of the house, front of the house, back of the house, front of the house, back of the house. And then after 15 minutes of it, I wasn't really feeling it. And I just thought, I'll sod that. I'll do some more another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wasn't in the zone today.
I think everybody's feeling it today. We did our training session and I definitely did less than normal, only did 4 kilometers. So I was like, ugh. It's, I think it's been a horrible day. I went out at 5 with Arthur, got absolutely drenched in the rain. So then when I went for my run, I put on capri bottoms and a t-shirt, like this kind of t-shirt. And I was boiled because it stopped raining and it was 15 degrees. It was still grey and horrible, but because there was so much moisture in the air.
Yeah, the humidity was horrible.
Horrible. And I just couldn't breathe. So I just said, oh, I'm doing one more loop and that's it. I'm calling it quits. I don't care. I haven't even reached 5k. So it's fine. It's not a problem. I may or may not have some kind of alcoholic additive to my lemonade. I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Well, it's not whiskey because it doesn't look like urine.
I don't like whiskey. I really do not like whiskey.
Oh, I like a whiskey.
No. Although I have been watching Outlander all week long.
Oh, have you?
Sassenach.
Oh, well, it's not as good now. They've gone for the younger rating, isn't it? My mother stopped watching it when all the steamy sex scenes got cut.
The one thing that I can't understand, right, and maybe I'm just a bit naive about this, but Brianna was with Roger and then, you know, spoilers, sorry, should say, shouldn't I, really? Spoilers. She gets attacked, doesn't she? Yet when Roger eventually manages to get back to her, she has no issues at all. Now, I would have thought that she might have had some difficulty.
There are in some episodes where she has some sort of flashbacks.
Yeah, but not
what you'd expect. But then
Roger.
again, I don't know what a kind of practical person she is. She might just think, well, what good is it dwelling on it?
I know, but I would have thought that she might have had, I don't know. Michelle's having Prosecco.
Oh. Yeah, get that passed round. Never mind quaffing that yourself.
Good girl, Michelle. I like your style.
Yeah, Michelle's saying she loves the Bellissima. It is a lovely yarn.
It is a lovely yarn.
And they've got great colours. Have you seen the new Starcraft yarn, the Highland Heathers?
No.
Beautiful colours. Oh, Rita's in the house. Hi, Rita. How are you doing? Lovely to see you.
Rita.
A bit earlier in the day for you, isn't it? So you're probably not quaffing back sort of gin and lemonade, or oh, you might be. I I don't know.
And if you are, we are casting no aspersions whatsoever.
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
It's, personal preference, and
It's
that's fine.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no judgment here.
No, I'd like to see those because I quite like a heather kind of. What yarn weight is it?
It's a DK.
Cool.
They had the colours on at Black Sheep Wools if you want me to show you.
Yes, please. We like a share.
But I will show you something else first.
Oh, go, go, go.
I'll just show you this. As promised, Alicia's released the shawl that she showed us the other day, Campside Days.
Yeah.
Campside 2020, all lowercase, one word, for the 25% off. So I think that's very pretty.
I did see it on Instagram. It's gorgeous.
Somebody's done a green one and it's just a fabulous jewel-like colour.
Oh, wow. Need.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And I'm just loving her hair as well. Look at that colour.
Where does she live, Lorraine? You hold it down while I nick it.
I'll distract her.
All right, cool.
In fact, the dog might distract her.
Yeah, I think that dog looks like it would be protecting her.
Possibly. But how beautiful is that?
What is that? What yarn is it?
Fibre Spates Vivacious DK, and the
Ooh.
colour is sea green, isn't it? Just lush. And I really like this mustardy one.
Oh, I love that. Oh, look at her little swatchy thing that she did.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
I love it. Looks a little bit like a 1970s bikini, but
I guess she's knitting in the car and someone else is driving. At least one hopes so.
Oh, I love it.
Never quite sure of that. So I thought you might like to see that. I'll just stop sharing that one.
I am really tempted.
Right.
But I'll have to see how I get on with this jumper first. Maybe I could make that in that dream catcher.
Oh, that'd be quite nice. Right, yarn.
Yeah.
Statecraft.
Michelle's been looking at it. She's been to the local yarn shop.
Oh, I see now.
You could go off people, couldn't you?
Yeah, some people are just show-offs.
Well, she didn't tell me she was going and looking at yarn today.
Here we go. Healand Heathers.
Healand Heathers.
So that colour's called Granite.
I can't see it.
Oh, it's because I'm not sharing.
I can only see you, and you are beautiful, but you're not yarn.
I am fabulous.
You are?
Right, here we go. So
now I can see it.
There's the Granite.
Oh, now that looks lovely. I would totally wear that.
Look at it's almost tea stained. That's more me, the Gorse. Really like that. Yeah. I know someone who will like Cairn.
I don't know anybody that would like that at all.
Wild Salmon. How gorgeous is that?
I think that's a Michelle colour.
And I'm loving this. This one is called Thrift.
Ooh.
And I quite like in Bracken.
Yeah, I like Bracken.
And I'm totes loving Thistle.
Not my colour, but it's nice.
And I quite like Grist. Grist to the mill, is that what they used to say? I think I know someone who will like that. Look at the greens and the purples in that. Yeah. That's called Loch. And then we've got Moss, which I love. And then we've got this little purpley colour called Heather, which is very similar to the special Aran with wool colour Hollyhock.
Do you think that would make a very nice campsite pullover?
I think it absolutely would. It's gorgeous.
I told you I need a yarn for it. I want to make it for myself, but I haven't got anything that's shouting at me in the house.
I just think that's beautiful. Premium acrylic, 22 stitches, 30 rows,
Price is that?
297 yards, 30 degrees, machine wash, cool, tumble dry. Very rich colours.
£2.79 for 100 grams.
Well, yeah.
That
What did
is
I say? Nearly just shy of 300 yards.
right.
So how many do you need for your size in campsite?
4, I think. I think 3 won't quite do it, and 4 I'd have plenty left over.
Well, it makes sense to get 4 or 5 then, doesn't it? Because you could have a matching hat.
I really like that colour.
Or use one in a shawl with a contrast. Not that I'm enabling at all.
I don't know whether to go for that colour or the dark blue.
What, the moss or the dark?
Either the moss or the dark blue, the lock. The lock or moss. We need a vote.
I'm thinking the lock would look lovely on you. What does everybody else think?
I think it's not got too much of a pink tinge for my liking.
Oh, Yvonne says she's starting the bind off on the body of her Leslie T. Can't wait to see that, Yvonne. Goodness, that work.
Yvonne, I think that deserves a round of applause because that has been a labour of love, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well done. And Rita says, yes, it's a little early in the day for her, but she is planning to have a gin and tonic later.
Good girl, Rita.
Raise a glass for us then. Maybe.
Raise a glass. Somebody been watching a certain TV show again.
Might have been.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I don't know. I really, really, really.
You don't know which to go for now.
No, I don't. That is
Well,
just.
I don't know.
Where was that?
Online, it was just black sheep wools.
Oh, black sheep. Oh. You know, you're killing me, don't you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Because at that price, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
What?
Well, at that price, you could probably afford to order a few colours.
Well, and you should really to get the free postage.
I mean, there is no point whatsoever in paying for postage when you could get extra yarn for that money. I mean, come on.
Quite agree.
Oh, I think I might have to have them both.
I don't know if I'm feeling a bit washed out today because I've been wearing grey all day.
And if you're feeling tired as well.
And it kind of sucks the life out of me. It's quite funny.
Needed something a bit more vibrant to cheer you up, I think.
Probably did today, but this is what I grabbed this morning. And my only trip out today has been with Jake. And bizarrely last night, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I got several orders for Knit Now issue 12. Now, bearing in mind what number issue of Knit Now they're on and how many years that's been on the shelf in my little wool shop, I was a bit surprised to get people attempting to make about 6 orders, but I didn't have enough stock. And then several people from America getting in touch, just please, will you post it to the US and I'll pay anything and I'll pay any. Oh, and I'm like, and I've been through all the stock of old magazines. I've got probably half a dozen issues of number 13 because I'm in that one definitely, and I've got a couple of number 12 which are bagged up and ready to go to the first 2 ladies that ordered and paid, and the rest, I'm afraid, will have to be disappointed. I've asked the lady from the US why all the surge of interest, within the space of 30 minutes.
And has she not replied?
No.
It's really bizarre, isn't it?
It is seriously weird. So I don't know if they're doing a knit along of one of the patterns from that issue. I've got the Lucy baby top in that issue, but I don't know that it's a runaway success.
Well, if it's one of the main patterns that's published in there, they can get it online. So there must be a reason why they want the actual magazine.
Um, if it's in the supplement, there was
Yeah,
baby supplement, which is where I think the Lucy baby top is.
but it's available on Ravelry.
Yeah, well, I think most of the patterns are probably available on Ravelry, so I don't really understand why you wouldn't just buy the pattern that you wanted. So unless there's a knit along for several of the patterns in that issue, which nobody's mentioned.
It's weird though that the woman from the US is so keen on, I don't care how much it costs me in postage, blah blah blah.
Well, she says that now, and they all say that. Up
Yeah,
until you go back with, because they all want the insurance.
yeah.
Nobody ever wants to have the delivery and not have it insured.
Hmm.
And I mean, you send, I don't know, 600 grams of yarn. You with insurance, you
Yeah,
probably, because of the price of the yarn, you're probably looking at anywhere between 16 and 23 pounds to send it.
yeah.
But if they want it sent without, then they take the risk. I'm not prepared to have it.
No, too right.
So why I don't allow checkout anywhere other than the UK. I make them get in touch. I'll send anywhere they like, but we have to agree the terms and conditions before I'll play ball with it, because otherwise I'll just end up with the hassle. And bizarrely, it's like several years ago I got half a dozen orders within about 2 days for Murano lace, which isn't a lace weight, so I don't know why it was called that. It's actually a light DK, heavy sport weight, colour changing texture yarn. I'll show you a picture of one of the patterns with it. And it was in Knitters magazine or something like that, one of the American ones. And it was a designer who'd done a top, and you could either do the panels in knit or crochet, or knit and crochet. So there was like 3 squares for the centre, and then it was like a dolman kind of wing sleeves that you knitted and added on to the crochet section. Or she showed you how to do a knit panel with it, and it was a very clever pattern. But all of a sudden I had people wanting to order 6 and 7 balls of this stuff, and they're like that big each.
Wow.
So it was quite complicated with the shipping, because it's not just the weight, it's about the volume for international.
Yeah. Wow.
But I did get lots of photographs back from people who actually finished them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. So I'm not got much longer on my trolleys.
Can't believe you're calling them that. They're so cute.
Yeah, trolleys is funny though. I like calling it. I always say I'm losing my trolleys.
Um, as a child growing up here, we'd have probably said keks.
Oh yeah.
Using your keks.
Highland bloomers, if they were in that heather, I could have called them, couldn't I?
Oh yeah.
Mm. So I do need a new sign. So if anyone's got any suggestions, if anybody wants a limerick writing about themselves, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe you could go with one of the messages on your favourite mug.
Yeah, I could go with any of them. I could put all 3 of them on, because knitting does take balls.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if the cotton is the right yarn for my campsite cardie, or whether I should use some of my
What did she use?
Julie Acelan, Lose You DK, I think. I'm not, no, as much as I like it, I'm not paying for that.
I
The stash.
I've got a lot of the drops cotton stuff that I just bought, and I did consider that for myself for a campsite pullover. But looking on it,
Mm.
at all the projects and really weighing it up, I thought that I needed something that was either a wool or acted like a wool rather than a cotton or a linen.
So here we go. Michelle may be persuaded to order bracken or lock. Rita's saying she likes lock or bracken.
Yeah,
Yvonne says 760 stitches around the bottom of that hem for the Leslie T.
that's going to take a day to cast off anyway, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah, and particularly if you do a stretchy bind off because it's twice the work, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So Michelle says, after reviewing the colours, Emma, if you do an order, 3 pink salmon for her, please. Yeah, no self-interest there, is there?
Not at all. That wasn't like I don't care. I'm just having that one.
What do you think of my colour?
I'm
I
actually
could show you.
I
Sorry.
quite fancy a light brown. I haven't really got much in a light brown. I've got one camel coloured jumper that's actually too big for me now, and I used to love wearing it with my blue jeans. So I think I might go for a light brown.
That'd be nice.
Mm.
Is it called grist or something like that?
Yeah, it sounds too much like gristle though, doesn't it? Urgh.
Well, you know.
I will still ponder it. You know I'm going to end up with some though, don't you?
Possibly.
Hmm. It's nearly my husband's payday. In fact, I'm going to get hold of the company the college I was working for, because when I was working, I used to get paid £1 an hour at holiday money, and I haven't had any of it.
Right.
So I might actually just get a payment of that in August
Right.
and spend it on yarn. Why not?
Sounds perfectly fair to me.
Mm.
I could show you the other yarn I was thinking for campsite.
Go on then, show us.
Right, so we'll take a dive into my stash.
Oh my God, are we going to get out alive?
Eh, debatable.
How long will it take us to get back up to the top?
Right, now you have to keep,
Everyone.
this secret, everybody, okay?
Yeah.
This is a secret. It stays between the couple of million of us and nobody else. So I quite like the idea of this hayfield sun dance.
What's that?
I don't know if it'll let me open it. It's cotton and acrylic.
Right.
The colour's called pomegranate. And I quite like the vanilla-y colour, very vanilla, which is actually a pale-ish yellow.
Yeah.
Like
Does that look good on you, that colour?
I think so.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen you in anything that colour,
No,
so I couldn't comment.
no. And it's in a drawer over the other side of the room, which would mean disturbing Labradors.
Oh, you can't do that.
I don't think the hemp would be suitable, the green.
No.
Helen says, Helen Curzon was saying that hemp is not particularly stretchy
Right, okay.
or forgiving, so I'm thinking that should maybe be for something else. All these colours of patent 100% cotton are in a bag. I will take a group photograph of them, probably. What else might be suitable?
Oh, could you do that purple and do a fade?
Those,
Yeah.
that spot where
Oh,
closer to 4-ply actually, Limoni.
that would look lovely in a fade.
But that's what I got it for. It was for a design actually, but the company have gone out of business.
Mm.
Bless them. And I've never really done anything with it. What else? Oh, I suppose that's possible.
Rios would be nice.
Yeah, that's pear dress. Sort of earthy tones with a bit of purple thrown in. That's the
What's
Archangel.
when knitted up? Is it quite variegated when it's knitted up?
Yeah, you have to swap every couple of rows from one
I'm just
skein
thinking you
to the
might
next.
need a slightly plainer pattern for that colour then.
Yeah, I mean I've got a few of these colour wheel if I felt like something stripy.
Ooh. That's got a lot of colours in it though.
Yeah, and that's what bothers me. I think it could end up just being a bit
Yeah. But
OTT.
Joseph, you end up looking like Joseph.
Let's filter by weight, by
Yeah, you need a weight filter.
DK and worsted.
Okay, what are we left with?
Not enough of that. Not enough of that. Oh, I've got loads of that brown. I've actually
Yeah,
got more than that.
50 skeins. Oh my goodness.
I might have even more than that if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think I bought 80 and someone else was going to have some of them but then didn't.
Right.
So
Yeah, it would look nice, but I think you need something maybe slightly lighter.
yeah, which is why I was thinking of the vanilla or the pomegranate colour that might be a bit more fun for kind of summery. I've got some of that Starcraft Life Changes. I could get some more of that in the corals. I quite like that.
It's nice, yeah.
And I've got some of that biscuity colour as well. And there
mhm.
might be enough with those two to actually do it, but I could use some drop spell. Got yellow and beige
Um,
or beige as
yeah,
I
but
like to call
I'm not sure that you don't want like what I'm thinking for the pullover. I personally think it requires something that's either wool or acts like wool rather than having a cotton or something in it. I don't know, maybe it's just misguided thought. Oh, what's that one? That salmony pinky one there.
it. It's just an acrylic.
What about that one?
Weirdly, I had to place it on top of that top to actually get an accurate photograph colour.
Yeah, I
I've
think
certainly
that's
got
quite
enough
nice.
of that. It's just Sadler wash and wear crepe. It's a good solid workhorse yarn and it washes and wears really well. I mean,
Swatch in that.
yeah, I could do that. And the box isn't sort of, it's not like it's at the back of the room between 100 other boxes.
Yeah.
So that's doable. And I have other colours. I've got the beige, I've got a couple, I've got 5 of the palest peach and 5 of that nutty colour, as it's called. I don't know why they've called it nutty. And I've
Maybe
got loads of this luxurious tweed.
no, the other ones, those other three colours that you've got of like 2 and 5 and 5, would they go together to make like a bit of a fade?
They would, and originally I got the 4 of them to go together to do a cardigan and like a stripy tank or something.
Right.
That was my thinking.
I think they'd look quite nice as a fade if you could get them in the right order, sort of thing.
Hmm. I'll have a play around with that. I'll dig
Have a
them.
play with those, see if you like that.
And the luxurious tweed is a lovely yarn. I've got some of that
That
bergamot.
one's nice. I like that one.
It's a beautiful yarn. It's full of plasticky bits and vegetable matter. You do spend
Uh,
an awful lot of time pulling crap out of it,
so it's a bit
but
annoying then.
but it softens and blooms when it washes, and it's gorgeous knitted up.
Ooh,
And I
um,
absolutely love this limey colour.
Oh, look at
So
that. Oh, that would be nice.
I used the orangey colour on the right of the screen for
Mm,
my Ilias cardigan, the Isabel Kramer one
yeah,
that I finished recently.
that would be
So
nice.
they're possibilities. Um, that's an acrylic pixie, but I quite like that soft green.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
I'm just looking at the comments to see if anybody's got anything to say.
As opposed to who's got far too much to say. You've got a few bells, haven't you?
Might have. Allegedly, I could neither confirm nor deny.
No, I wouldn't, definitely wouldn't confirm or deny. Just plead the fifth.
All these small quantities of crap is stuff I've been given because I tend to just buy in sweater quantities, or where you've got one ball of special double knit, it'll be in a kit.
Yeah.
And I have got 10 balls of that Linen Touch DK, which I started making a Hinton Stein top with
Yeah.
a week and then tore it out because I didn't have enough yarn.
Oh no.
And when I tried it on, I just looked like a fat brick. It
Oh,
was
that's not
it
good.
was not flattering.
No, don't go for that then.
No, and I love her designs, but it was quite flappy and big over the shoulders and the upper arms,
Yeah.
and then narrowed towards the hips. And my shape is completely the opposite,
Uh,
so it wasn't going to work for me.
no,
Uh,
no.
and I've got a variety of these Wendy modes. I've just been using those for baby knits. Got that somewhere. 10 of
Yeah.
grey merino double knit. It peels like hell, but it is a beautiful
Well,
tweedy
I put
yarn.
blue, haven't I? Because I showed you I was thinking about making it in the blue, but
I've got the Life DK in this sort of
oh no, I like that.
pebbly net.
I think it'd look lovely in that.
Um, I really like the flex in that one. It's a
Mm.
really nice yarn. And I've got a grey as well.
Is that a good grey for you?
Um, Possibly not, is
Because you
the
don't want to
honest
wear it
answer.
in the effort and then not want to wear it because it's not the right one.
Yeah, that's the monster, isn't it? So
Yeah,
so there you are, you've had a small dive into my stash.
yeah. Remember, guys, that goes nowhere else.
Yeah, what stays in the Facebook group, stays in the Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the Malabrigo would be lovely if you had a less busy colour for that project, I think.
Yeah, and I've only got 2 balls of the sandbank, which is sort of
Right.
a sandy
Sand,
kind of colour.
I think the sandbank would have been lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I don't really want to have to go and buy another 4 or 5 balls of it right this second.
Mm,
So trying
yeah.
to.
No, just spend my money instead. It'll be fine.
Well, I do find that's the best way to get the vicarious joy of other people's
You
purchases.
really get the pleasure with none of the payment, don't you? I
Absolutely.
love that. So yeah. Oh, but I do think some of those style crafts were lovely actually. It's a good yarn. And even though it's acrylic, it it behaves like wool in many ways. I wouldn't steek it, obviously.
I really like the Starcraft yarns, and at the end of the day, they're about affordability and easy care. And for someone who can't wear animal fibres,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky to be able to get away with some, but if you made me something in alpaca, I would cough and sneeze all night. And I did try and knit a hat with some Sirdar Peru,
Right, okay.
which, of course, being my generation, I thought darkest Peru.
Paddington Bear.
Bobbington. And I thought, well, that might be fun. But it wasn't fun because I just was stopping breathing and having to put it in the freezer every half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I do believe that breathing is quite an important thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah,
rather you
I came round
not.
to that way of thinking.
Yeah, yeah, don't mess with that. It's just, obviously I said to you the other day, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter. I'm not sure if it's on Ravelry as well, about affordability of yarns, and a lot of knitters seem to be pushing back against designers who use hand dyed yarns or expensive yarns, saying it's unaffordable and it's our job that we should be designing. If we want to design in those yarns, then fine, but we should be then also suggesting alternatives. And
Okay.
I think it's a difficult one, because I know a lot of designers do have collaborations with these people who do their own yarns,
Hmm.
and in which case they won't be able to list an alternative because it will be part of the contract of getting the yarn.
No, but they could have test knitters who use cheaper alternatives and by
Yeah.
extension give feedback on how that yarn performs. So,
See, I'm not sure if everybody, are there people out there who insist that their test knitters use a particular kind of yarn?
I did a test. If you want to see the cardigan, I'll show it to you in my project. It's a crochet cardigan. I used some Ousterman Royal yarn because she was insisting it was something that was merino or silk and was a premium 4-ply. No rubbish, it was more or less said.
Okay.
Now, she seems to have changed her tune in recent tests, but I've not tested for her in quite a while because that I had that yarn because I had it in my shop stock and
Yeah.
I bought the stock and it's up to me what I do with it. And I wanted to make that cardigan. But I did feel aggrieved that had I not had access to that yarn, then I would not have been selected for that test. And I just thought that was stuck up and yarn snobbery of the highest order.
Yeah.
And there's far too much of it about. And yeah, in an ideal world, we would all buy British wool or Swedish wool or US wool and all the rest of it
Yeah.
made down the road from us. But a
Yeah.
lot of those mills are gone, and there are only certain mills who will spin wool for other people.
Hmm.
Not all manufacturers will do your wool if you turn up with it, even if you come with a significant quantity, and it is costly to get done. So
Yeah.
to produce your own yarn has its challenges. You need buying power and quantity and investors. So what do you then do if you can't wear those animal fibres because of allergies, sensitivities, or health issues? What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to say, well, I'm sorry, Stylecraft, but I can't have your acrylic that's manufactured in Turkey because Mrs. Jones down the road is an insufferable snob and thinks I'm a horrible person because I can only afford acrylic, or I can't wear alpaca, or I can't wear this or mohair because I stopped breathing. I thought
Yeah.
was so I don't necessarily think it's the designer's job to suggest sort of a dozen alternatives,
I don't.
but if I'm designing anything and if I knit a sample in Malabrigo Rios, then you can guarantee that I will absolutely have swatched it in Stylecraft Special DK because I've got tons of it and I
Yeah.
want to see how it comes out in comparison because someone will come back. Pretty much everything I ever want to knit, someone's made it in Special DK, Special Aran, or Special Chunky, or Special 4-ply. They
Yeah.
use an affordable yarn because either they don't really understand about yarn and they just sew it and they like the colour and they bought it,
Yeah.
or for practical reasons that it's for our Jenny's lad, little Joe, and Jenny's like my mother and of the school of boil it till it burns.
Yeah.
When it comes to washing, so I don't see why anybody should feel left out or some sort of pariah just because they're using an affordable yarn. And I must admit, it really pissed me off that Georgie Locatelli, and don't get me wrong, she's gorgeous. I think she's lovely. She's a really nice person to talk to. Great deal of time for a fantastic designer. But to start this hashtag about designing affordable yarns, hang on, been doing that from the start, mate. The same with size inclusive. 60-inch bust, one of the first people to be doing it. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So all this bandwagoning crap of and claiming to be concerned for their customers, I'm not really buying it.
Also, what does absolutely upset me a bit is if something is going down on Twitter like this, if you don't address it as a designer, it's almost like you're a pariah for not turning around and saying, hang on a minute, I've got 60 patterns and 20 designed in affordable yarn, and 20 of them are designed in high-end yarn, and 20 of them are designed in middle yarn. Do you know what I mean? If you don't actually physically come out and address every single little argument that's going on in Twitter, you're then the one that's in the wrong. Why should I get embroiled in an argument that I don't think we should be having, personally? Because you've got the yarn snobbery of the people who are like, oh, you use acrylic. Oh, I wouldn't dare. But you've equally got the people who are like, I only ever use acrylic. Why are you using hand spun? And you've got the reverse snobbery going on.
Yeah, well, people just need to learn to be a bit more tolerant and a bit more grown up. And if Twitter's a horrible place, don't go to Twitter.
Yeah.
My dad calls it twatter for good reason.
Honestly, it's, as a designer, and I've been doing this since 2013, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I have never made a profit. Never, ever, ever. I've been given free yarn on less occasions than I've got fingers on one hand. I don't know where this free yarn comes from. Where do people get free yarn? Because every time I've tried to get yarn support, I've either had a no or just completely ignored. So I've had to buy my own. And I can only afford to buy what I can afford to buy. I can't go out and buy the hand painted ones that I absolutely love to design on a big scale. I did bankrupt myself at Yarndale, I will be honest. But I haven't actually touched any of that because it's too pretty.
Yeah, but because of COVID, we've not actually been anywhere since. No. Yvonne's saying she might not be able to wear animal fibre, but pure acrylic feels horrible on her skin too. So she needs something that's got a plant fibre base in it. And she can have some acrylic, but not all acrylic. So again, there's different needs. And she's agreeing test knitters and showing the projects in different yarns helps a lot.
I have never, ever said to one of my test knitters, you can't use that yarn. Never. Because for me, one of the major reasons to get my pattern test knitted is because I want people to use it as they would in the wild, as it were. I don't see any value in telling everybody you have to knit this in this yarn. That doesn't tell.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the designer saying, oh, and Ethel from Red Sox Yarn or whatever it is, and we'll give you 25% off if you're testing and you use the yarn. And that might tempt me to try something different. But to be honest, if I've signed up for the test, I've probably looked at my stash and thought, yeah, I want to use this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Yvonne's saying about test knitters, different yarns all work well. Michelle, I like Alicia's approach of inclusive knitting when she was talking on Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. And people should be able to use exactly what works for them. And I've had test knitters, quite frankly, use some really horrible, um, where you've got a highly patterned item to be tested and you want to show off the pattern. And they've used highly variegated yarns
And
that
hidden.
have completely overwhelmed and hidden the pattern.
Yeah.
I don't refuse them and I don't berate them for it, because hopefully someone else will see that it's not worked as well. But then equally, someone else will come along and go, oh, I really love how them colours are playing, and they might make it in exactly the same thing, and it'll have evolved from whatever I envisaged into what they want.
Yeah.
And they've bought the pattern, they knit it how they want it.
Yeah. Honestly, I just think that half the joy of being a knitter rather than a designer, as an actual just knitter, half the joy for me is having a look at my yarns, having a look online. What do I think will look good to make that? And just, having fun with it and not getting too het up, really.
Yeah, Yvonne's saying the original discussion before it went off into stupid land, which Twitter often does, was basically, if you use an expensive yarn, show us samples, can be from testers, made in affordable yarn, so people see that can look great too. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to do it. But for me, I mean, I've made some of the baby stuff. I use Special DK for a little moss stitch cardigan, or seed stitch if you're in the States. And I used some Pantone, which is actually a slightly dearer yarn, in this sort of mixed colours.
Yeah.
In a cotton. So there's an acrylic, there's a cotton, and I'll probably do another one in a merino, like a superwash DK sock or something like that.
Yeah. I just think sometimes as well that people think us designers are rolling in the money, we're making a fortune off of everybody else, that we're getting tons of free yarn, and that we know everything about every yarn. Yes, I get that people are saying, can you please show us something in a less expensive yarn? I'll say it again. Sometimes they've got that yarn under the proviso that they only promote that yarn. They might not be able to, I don't always get a full test. So it's very nice to show projects off in lots of different yarns from testers, and people who want to look at my pattern and buy my pattern can look on Ravelry if it's a safe place for them to do, look on my Instagram if it feels safer. I don't always get lots of testers, so again, I can't show it off in as many yarns as I would like to. And I wouldn't like to turn around and say, oh, I've knitted this in, say, Paintbox Baby DK, which I'm using for these. But you could also knit it in Malabrigo, or you could knit it in Wool of the Andes, or whatever. If I haven't knitted it myself in that yarn and know for definite that it would work in that yarn, because then you're just giving somebody an idea of something that you don't actually know.
Well, for me, I always suggest that if you substitute in yarn, you need to do a washed and blocked swatch.
Yeah.
And it's on your own head, be it, but ideally choose something with similar qualities. And if you can, then be careful.
We both, in our patterns, will list yardage, meterage, fibre.
Yeah.
We always do that. I feel that there are some things that designers shouldn't really be expected.
I think a lot of what people want us to do should be done in the yarn shop where the person is buying their yarn. And if Woolly had an actual face-to-face shop, that's where I'd be talking to people and they'd say, oh, I've got this pattern, what yarns would be suitable, and this is my budget.
Yeah.
And then I would show them what would be suitable. and tell them how to do a swatch. And if necessary, actually lend them some needles to sit down and do a swatch.
And also, I mean, I don't know if I've never done this myself, but I'm pretty sure if you are buying from someone like Love Knitting or I don't know, Wool Warehouse or something, and you weren't sure about a yarn, you're umming and ahhing over it, I'm pretty sure they'd answer an email if you asked them.
Well, as well, I'll quickly say hello to Helen Gibson, who's popped in.
Helen.
Hey, Helen, hope you're okay. Bit wet today. One of the things as well is that if you actually use a bit of Google foo,
Yeah.
you can actually, which is what I found out most of what I wanted to know about hemp yarn.
Yeah.
Before I'd spoken to Helen Curzon, was about Googling it, finding out that basically it's got next to no stretch.
Yeah.
So you do have to kind of make a bigger size and be aware of it and do the body shaping and all the rest of it. But it will have a much softer drape every time it's washed. Now, that wasn't rocket science to actually find out, but it's then up to me to figure out what's the best pattern for it. It's not up to a designer or someone to say, oh yeah, that's suitable. It might work, but unless they've used it, they're not going to know for definite. And I wouldn't hesitate to put on a DK pattern that you could try Malibrig or Rios, but I would put it on with the caveat that you must do a washed and blocked swatch because superwash yarn grows.
It does.
You know, it's fine for kids stuff because it'll fit them sometime. Just not necessarily now.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
If I didn't, am I supposed to be doing decreases or not, Emma? Are you paying attention?
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing decreases. You've missed one, haven't you?
Increases even.
That's
Yeah.
what I said. I said
Yeah.
increases.
Yeah, it was me said decreases, wasn't it? It was the lack of gin. I think it's the lack of gin. It's because Michelle's got all of my Prosecco.
I actually, mine's not gin. Mine might be more of a peach variety.
Oh, were you on schnapps?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've not had that in years. Used to always have a bottle in the freezer.
We've got Archers in, we've got lemonade in, and I was like, I'm having it. Unfortunately, the ice machine is all clogged up and I can't get the thing off of it.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit disappointing, but that just means more room for alcohol.
All right, let's see if you've got any more comments.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, halfway done with the bind off.
Woo woo.
Helen's saying, I've had to guess when putting patterns on Lovecrafters, they don't always have the yarns that she's tested with or that the testers have used. See, that's another minefield, isn't it?
Yeah. And they always, when you list on there, they flag it up. Oh, you'll sell more patterns if you suggest the yarn and blah, blah, blah. And you
they'll sell more yarn.
Well, yeah. But you do try, and sometimes it's just not there.
No.
The best one was actually, my
I find Lovecraft expensive.
I find them expensive. You know that those cotton square thingies that I did?
Yeah.
Like the Burt cloth thingies, right? I actually bought that from Lovecraft's, okay, the yarn. Knitted them up. Yeah. Went to put the pattern on, looked for the cotton, and it wasn't there, it wasn't listed. I actually bought it from you. What is going on?
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
It's not great, is it, really? So, you've got no chance. If you can't even list one that you've bought there, forget it. Are you remembering to increase now?
Yeah, I'm just heading towards the marker with great speed. So I'm on the stockinette bit now. Can you?
I love it. I'm excited to get going on my pullover for my mum. It's going to be a big one though. It's a good job she wants short sleeves. because I think it was going to be quite tight on yardage,
Right.
full length sleeves. So yeah.
Does she want like a halfway down the upper arm, or?
I think she'll just want it sort of like there.
Let me
Like
get on the right screen. Yeah.
just sawing my arm off right now.
Yeah.
Like you do. So that'll be my first Christmas present done.
Yeah, is it?
Not even the gal time yet.
I know.
Look.
Someone messaged me the other day to say, what were we doing about moving the gift along?
Moving it where?
Because apparently thousands upon thousands of users can't get onto Ravelry, and I said, well, are they gift along users, or are they just other Ravelry members? Did they take part in the gift along? Well, I don't know. And I said, well, it's a big event to move. And there isn't anywhere else we could move it where it would work the way that it does. So, no, I doubt very much whether it would move.
It was designed for Ravelry.
Exactly.
I don't understand why that would even be a question.
So then they came back and said, well, yes, but there's thousands of users. I said, yes. And are they members of the Gift Along group and active participants in the event?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. And I said, well, why should we throw the baby out with the bathwater and potentially destroy an event
that's taken years to build up?
It's taken absolute years to build up, on the whim of people who aren't actually coming in to join the event anyway.
And has anyone actually physically said, I can't do it? Or is it just a case of, oh, I think there will be some people that can't?
There are some people who have screen readers and have been, say, crafters all their lives and lost their sight for whatever reason.
Okay.
Can still craft because you can muscle memory. You can feel what you're doing.
Yeah.
And have screen readers for their patterns. Now they're struggling, and they have been for a while.
Okay.
But they are working on it, and they've had over 10,000 responses to the survey. So they're working their way through the issues on the survey. And every time I log in, something else has changed.
I think.
And I'm not having any problems at all now. And I had really bad migraine and was physically sick on that first day.
Yeah.
So I think they've done an awful lot to solve the problems. They're maybe not there for everyone yet. But
coming from someone who I don't think I was affected, I mean, I didn't notice anything, and also who doesn't really understand what's what. I do understand that every time somebody shouts loudly and wants a response, it slows down what you're actually trying to do to fix. So they're all shouting loudly, I've told you I've got a problem, you're not answering me, you're not replying, you're not doing anything. But they're keeping quiet, and that's annoying people. But I don't think they're keeping quiet as in, oh, I can't be bothered to answer you.
they're a small team and they're getting on with work, which is what I've said all along.
That is the impression that I'm getting. The impression I'm getting is they are just working hard. But
exactly that.
I don't know.
And they're working through it. And unfortunately, there is a group that we will call the Crusaders who are claiming to represent the views of the victims.
Is there a certain famous designer who is very vocal on Twitter amongst those Crusaders?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of an arse, to be honest, given how much I know that person earns off Ravelry.
Yeah, she who shall not be named right now, but we know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knitting every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I just think it's ridiculous. And there was a comment in one of the designer groups today, and I think it was Talvi Knits had put a link to a survey that someone's done who's being quite vocal on Instagram and trying to assess the impact of the Ravelry changes on our income.
Okay.
So I went to look at the survey. It doesn't tell you who it's for, doesn't tell you how the data will be used. Given that she's asking about my income
All right. So
between me, my accountant, and the tax man.
yeah.
It's nobody else's business. But
No.
there's no information there as to who's collecting the data, why it's being collected. So I may have reported it under GDPR.
Good.
And I've asked the question in the designer group of how is this data being used? Because I object to somebody taking private and confidential information from my business and potentially selling it.
Yeah.
I have no guarantee that that isn't what's happening here. And there's no statement. There's nothing that tells you who it's going to. I said, quite frankly, this should just be a bunch of hackers deciding whether we're worthy of being robbed or not. So we'll see what comes back from that.
Well, everyone can know my financial zero. Big fat zero. It's fine. It is what it is. I do it for the live
And the trolleys.
and the trolleys. And to get to speak to people like Alicia.
Yeah.
There's no other reason, is there?
No.
It just upsets me. It really does that some of these, it's a bit like, do you remember when we had the whole discussion last year before the GAL started? And some designers were saying, oh, I think we should all donate the first X amount of our profits from the GAL to this charity or that charity. And my reaction was, I would love to, but I don't even make that amount in total, let alone the first. I think sometimes these people get so big they forget that they're a little fish trying to get morsels. That is beautiful.
It's 6 to 9 months, short row shoulders,
Yeah.
short row sleeve cap. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not happy with my short rows, so I may tink that back yet again.
They look all right on the camera.
Perfecting, but it's one piece up to the armholes and then separate, and then 3 needle bind off. I actually knitted mine up and over just to see how it would work, but didn't like that method. Not least because if you weren't really comfortable and familiar with short rows, by the time you got to the shoulder and stuff, it might be a tad confusing. And I thought, yeah, I'm trying to make this simple, not hard. So,
and did you yarn?
Yeah, it's Starcraft Special. The colour is called Parma Violet.
Ah, that's beautiful. I was going to guess cornflower blue.
No, it's Parma Violet. And the next thing to go on the needles for rubber stuff, sorry, I've just dropped a screwdriver on the dogs, is these two, which that's mushroom. And the darker one, I can't remember if it's grape or plum. It's one of them.
Shroom. Oh, I've got something here that I don't think I showed you.
Oh, sorry, darling. Did I throw a screwdriver at you? I do apologise. I'm just that kind of mum.
Animal cruelty. Did I show you this?
No.
It's a little Bubba hat.
You were working on it the other day, weren't you?
Woohoo! Bubba hat, Bubba hat.
Oh, that's adorbs.
Do you think it's big enough for a baby head?
Yeah.
I don't know how big baby heads are.
They feel bigger than they look.
They feel huge, don't they?
When you're pushing them out,
yeah,
they feel pretty massive. And then you get a look at it and you think, eh?
Well, I was watching something the other day. I think it must have been Outlander again. and Caitlin come in and something about a baby, and I went, oh, you forget how small newborn babies are, don't you? And Caitlin looked at me and she went, well, they have to be small because they come out of vaginas which aren't very big, are they?
Yeah. Helen's asking, so who's saying this? Do you mean the thing on Twitter about the affordable yarns, or are you on about the designer income thing?
I think she means who's saying moving the gal.
Oh, yeah, well, that would be inappropriate to say because it's just someone that private messaged me.
Oh, right.
It's the problem with the gift along is people feel a sense of ownership, and at the end of the day, the person who owns it or people who own it are Knit Eco Chic and Nina, and not anybody else. However invested they may feel in it, it's their event.
It's mine.
So yeah, I find it really quite bizarre that people will message and ask stuff like that.
I'm on Team Brindle, so it's mine. Sorry.
But this particular individual hasn't been a participating designer of late anyway. So I'm a bit puzzled as to why they're really that bothered.
And also, see, you've got me on my soapbox. I've had alcohol and I'm on my soapbox now. These, again, big designers who earn loads of money, and they put their name down to do the gift along, and they literally come in, put their name down, and then go, and you never see them in the whole event.
Well, I'm afraid Alicia's one of those.
Oh,
yes, she is. She doesn't take part.
Oh, that's disappointing. But to be fair, I've been doing it. I don't remember her being a participating designer.
She's been a participating designer several times, but she hadn't been in for a couple of years. And then she came back to it last year following her divorce, because obviously it was a significant boost to her single.
Well, I don't remember her being in it last year. I'd have knitted something of hers.
She was in it last year, but prior to that, it was a few years before that she was in it.
Right. I think I was too busy knitting elephant cowls and things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few sort of set it and forget it bigger name. I mean, people like Sarah Shearer at Imagined Landscapes always does videos promoting it, talks people on how to search the bundles and stuff like that. You know, does everything possible to promote it in a non-spammy, it's all about me sort of way. So there are bigger names who do an awful lot to promote it for others. Barbara Benson always does her sort of best of the tops, best of the hats, best of the whatever on her.
I'm not sure if I know her well.
Oh, I love watch Barbara knit. She's just so funny. She's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it does upset me a little bit as someone who does really try to come on and spend a lot of time and promote other people, because it's about promoting other designers. You're not supposed to come on and promote your own stuff, are you?
There are some people who always link to their own designs and have to be told off every single year. You will always get those.
Yeah, I know someone personally who I actually introduced to the gal as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've had to tell that person off.
Yes.
Bigger names are a double-edged sword, Helen Curzon saying, because but Alicia promotes it in her own group, which is a big audience. What exactly that? And everybody does it in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, even if they're just writing a couple of blog posts or a couple of Instagram posts, that's fine, because you're helping to promote the event itself, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And there's different ways to be involved. It isn't always about commenting or chatting. And some of the designers are really crap at doing the chatting.
And you don't have to.
No.
Well, I just think
some people just pay for adverts and advertise the event that way. So, there's lots of ways to participate. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to make something. I mean, obviously for me, I feel like I have to make something, and I enjoy taking the time off of my own knitting.
I do.
She says, having made how many jumpers this year for herself that weren't for patterns of her own, but you know,
We won't talk about that, but
treating myself, you know.
I absolutely love it. I love knitting other people's work during the gal.
Oh, Helen's saying there are also smaller designers who don't have to do anything, and they don't have the audience to share it with either. Absolutely. There are a lot of new designers every year who come and use it as a bit of a launch pad, but don't really share that with others.
As well.
Yeah, because they haven't built that audience.
I'm just feeling disappointed in general tonight.
Why?
Well, just generally disappointed, you know. The
In general, who?
General who? General Lee.
Oh, okay.
At the Battle of Monmouth.
All right then. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not meant to be doing increases.
You are meant to be increases.
And Helen's saying again, absolutely agree about people thinking they have a right to dictate how things will be done. Every year, the bundle thing is a nightmare because of individuals who think that it should be out early, which then puts pressure on volunteers who aren't getting paid, who aren't earning anything from it, who put those things together. And then they'll spend all day faffing about crashing the bundle while we're trying to add patterns to it. You know, and there's stupid things like that where they want all of this stuff released early so they can plan, but then don't buy patterns.
No, they just use what they've already got. I have found that actually, I was thinking about that this morning.
Yeah, and we do encourage designers, I might add, not to tell people that during the gift along. Let them find that out themselves.
What's that?
Don't be saying, oh, you can search the bundle and look in your library under any circumstances, please.
Yeah, I did that. And also, well, I mean, it bites me on my own bum anyway, because I'm very, very lucky, and I feel really, really, really privileged that every year that I've participated, I do get a lot of people knitting my patterns. I get quite a few projects, and that is amazing, and I love it, and I'm really, really thankful. But every single year, my sales have gone down, 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 down. And I mean, obviously people have got their own, they've got stuff of mine in their libraries and they're re-knitting them. But I've worked hard to get new patterns out, and it's just a little bit disappointing when they don't sell. Told you, I'm just on one tonight. You'll have to change my you'll have to change the subject for me, because
yeah. Should we go to better news? Any suggestions on what I should design with this? It's Lansdowne Bambini 4-ply. It is a pale sort of dusky pink. I have a linen colour as well, which is really pretty. 50 grams, 2.5 to 3 mil needles. 3.5 might be okay. And it's a merino and acrylic support.
Okay. Did you say DK?
No, 4-ply.
4-ply. And how many?
How many have I got?
Yeah.
About 300.
Oh, okay. Are you being serious there, or are you exaggerating?
No, I've got about 300 in stock.
Oh my God. Well, I can't suggest anything that you can make with all of them.
No, just something I could make for the baby collection that, you know, might help sell some of them.
You could make a big blanket that reaches from you to me.
Yeah.
And then we really would be knitting across the Pennines.
Yeah, be a bit wet though. Helen says she's lucky to get 2 projects. Helen Kersley's saying child pattern or adult. I was thinking a baby pattern, but I suppose this would be the sort of yarn I could use for a top-down lace yoke grown-up tee. type top.
Ooh,
That would be interesting.
that would be.
Helen Curzon, you definitely aren't talking about me. I think my most conservative year was about 30 pattern purchases. Yeah, I spend most of my income on patterns in the
I spend, I mean, I don't even know how many I bought last year.
I think somebody's having a laugh at me because Helen says, make a lovely little girl's cardie or a marquee if you want to use all 300.
You could make
Only if you all come and stay in the marquee with me.
you can make Naga Manchetti's dress, but in pink instead of green and blue.
Could do. Helen Gibson's saying gloves. No, that might be interesting.
I'm not seeing gloves.
I think the way 2020's been, I should just do some two-fingered gloves.
Oh, one-fingered gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's quite soft. I think this would be nice for a baby thing, but I have made myself a jumper with it and I really like it, a crochet one.
Yeah.
Lacy yoke or frills for a little girl's cardigan, Helen says.
Girl's cardigan, lacy yoke, definitely.
I might have to put my thinking cap on.
So a nice lacy yoke going around here and then plain down the bottom. Definitely. Are you loving that now?
I am loving that idea, yeah.
Do you know what as well? I like your, you know, your Lucy tee.
The baby top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's got that little tab on the front, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I can see you doing something a bit like with the tab on the back.
Yeah, that would be cute with the box pleats, do you think?
Yeah. But turn it into a dress rather than a tee.
The dress would be fun. I did enjoy making the thingy one, and I did enjoy making Mabel the other day. That was in 2 evenings, that little preemie one. It's just adorbs. I was going to take it to, unless you want it for...
I think it'll be too small, thank you.
No, I was thinking more for samples and photography.
Oh, well, I could do, maybe.
But I cheated, because I know that with me and my family, I actually stitched the little straps on at the back rather than putting them, because I know what my nieces are like. They'd be lost.
But I do love that, because that's exactly what I'm saying about using the pattern as you would use it in the wild.
Oh, and I made a little hat to go with the little candy.
Oh, that's cute. That's a
Aren't they
little
like Refreshers sweets? Do you remember those?
It is. Now I tell you what it is. It is a fruit salad.
Oh yeah.
And it is it's a Quaker style fruit salad.
Oh, and how funny is this? Do you know how long ago I made this hat?
2 years ago.
Probably about 6 years ago. And you see these little buttons?
Little rows, yeah.
That's the very same button that I put on the cardigan last night.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Without realising at all. How funny.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So yeah, I'm getting a bit.
Helen, check her black currants in me, and it's definitely jam season.
The black currants around near here aren't really.
I saw the red currants the other day.
What's the matter with you? I haven't seen him. He's such a grumpalot. Did you hear him just moaning?
He's fed up.
He's fed up because it's been absolutely tipping it down with rain all day. So we haven't been out in the garden. So I haven't been throwing his ball for him to chase.
Well, have you not got one of them electronic ball thrower things?
We should get one.
I debated about getting one, but my friend got one for her 2 Labradors, and they're frightened of the noise. And mine is scared of everything.
Arthur doesn't like any noises, so I think he would be scared.
Mimi, what are you doing? Mimi?
So I'm nearly finished my trolleys. nearly finished. Hang on.
Nearly finished
Well,
the roll. It's mocha. What are you doing?
I'm just going to do, I'm going to measure
Sorry,
them
there
in a
was
minute.
some furious licking going on over in the bed.
Are we licking
And
our ears
and
or?
she's a little beggar for licking a particular paw, and I just wanted to get her up to make sure it wasn't that.
Right. Oh, I've still got a few more centimeters. And then I'll do a ridge,
Hmm.
do a bit more, and then I'll fold it over and put elastic in for the band. So I'm nearly there.
So how much yarn has that taken?
Barely any at the minute. It's whatever I had left over from the cardigan, because I started a brand new ball of grey for the cardigan, and I've got that much left out of
Right.
it. Hang on, let me have a look. Do we know what I used? My projects. Did I use about 30 grams? Did I say? I can't even remember now. Grey. Oh, I used 20 grams, so I had 30 grams left.
Right.
So this has used 30 grams so far.
It's nothing, is it?
No. So I reckon you'd probably get a 0 to 3 month pair out of a 50-gram ball easy by the time I'm done. Which is nothing really. What's that?
Well, apparently my brother yesterday and his wife had been able to look after their first grandchild for the
Oh,
day. Now, bearing in mind the little Jessie Reef was born several months ago now,
yeah.
it's the first time they've been able to have him over for the day while Shana was back at work. So it made me laugh because the message went through that him and Joanne are going to bring the little lad through to my parents next Wednesday. So did I want to visit? Did I want to visit? No.
That's nice. The only issue at the moment with babies that have been born recently, they're not going to know family members in the way that we would normally know them. Do you know what I mean? Like a year ago, when a baby was born, the grandparents would have been there straight away and quite often, and they grow up knowing and they trust them and that. Whereas now, they've probably barely seen them.
Yeah, well, and my brother and his wife are both absolutely adore kids. They've got 5 between them.
Right.
And they've got Joanne's got a younger sister who's got at least one little girl. They're always looking after kids for someone.
Yeah.
Quite a big extended family. And Colin's just always adored children. Me, couldn't eat a whole one.
I like them, but I do like to be able to give them back.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If you hurt Jake, I'll rip your face off. There's the maternal instinct there, but it's more the tiger kind than the sort of, oh, come and have a cuddle with mummy. We had a set routine when he was little, and I always read him a story at night, and we always had to have the little chat, how his day had gone. And it makes me laugh because if I'm up and he gets home, he's got to tell me about his day. Or his night out. So that habit's stuck to a great extent. And I always used to read to him, and he enjoyed his book, and he remembers that. And that to me means a lot more than a ton of other stuff I could have done, like clean the toilet more often or vacuum.
Although I did actually clean the toilet today, strangely enough.
Oh, honestly, I put some super industrial stuff into mine today. And I've scrubbed all sort of the outside and the surfaces, and then I put a vinegar and bicarb paste around all the rims and any sort of stains from a combination of harder water, I think, and just sort of usual wear and tear. So I did that this morning. No fun at all.
My house No word of a lie, is looking like an absolute tip, because I used to have my daily cleaning routine. So I would clean all three toilets and like bathrooms and the kitchen and everything. It all got cleaned every single morning, and it only took me half an hour. I had this quick routine, whiz round, and it was fine. But because I've been spending all the time out in the garden, and then I come in and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to do it. So then it gets left and it gets left. And then when you do it, it takes longer because it needs a decent clean. And it's just like a bit of a vicious circle, really. I need to get back into my daily cleaning.
Yeah, I need to get a cleaner so that I'll clean before she comes to clean.
That would be a really good idea. I should do that. Or if I knew that my husband was coming home, I would be cleaning.
Hmm.
Or if I knew that I would likely have visitors, I would clean. But lockdown's not great for keeping your house clean, because you're thinking, well, no one's going to see it anyway.
Well, yeah.
Why am I bothering? I just clear a path in the hallway so it looks quite clean if somebody comes to the door.
Sort of tidy-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get one of them printed curtains, you know, that looks like your room when it's beautiful, and then you just
Oh,
pull it
yeah.
across behind you and have all
Oh, I
the.
need that. I do need that.
I'm
That'd be,
thinking that's a seriously good solution for me.
yeah, sounds fab. Guess what? Yvonne's done.
Is she?
Yeah.
I think that deserves a little round of applause.
Oh my God, hang on. Let me see if I can find a gift.
700 and something.
Lord.
Stitches, was it 700?
But as a standing ovation,
Oh, yeah.
she definitely
Ended
deserves a
up
standing ovation.
almost dress length going all the way over my bum, but love it. Sleeves and neckline edgings need to be done tomorrow, but she's done for today. Well, that's fantastic.
That is good.
You're telling back from checking on the black currant.
Oh, I do like black currants. I like blackberries as well. My strawberries are growing very big. They're still green at the minute, but they are definitely coming on. I'm just getting a bit annoyed with the garden because it feels like never ending. I'm telling you, I'm just down on one today.
You are a bit mized today. It's not like
Yeah, everything's just a bit, you know. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think it's been really, really, really wet and cold and miserable this July.
there's been a few nights where I've had to put the electric blanket on.
What, in July?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
come on.
I know. But nobody told the weather it was summer, did they?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've shouted it out of my bedroom window a few times in exasperation.
Possibly the wrong direction then.
Uh,
So do you think it's over the top that on my little moss stitch cardigans that I've charted all of the shaping as well as done the written instructions?
I think somebody out there would appreciate that.
Well, I just thought it might make it easier for beginner knitters to kind of visualize it.
I remember the first time I knitted from a chart. It was like a revelation. So why did I never do this before?
Oh yeah, it's and I think it helps you learn how to see your knitting and how it's
Mm.
going. Oh, Rita's doing a round of applause for Yvonne. Helen says heat's turned off now. Jelly bag overnight, hopefully. That's for the black currants, hasten to add.
You know, I'm pretty sure that jam goes in the post quite well, doesn't it?
Oh, and Helen C is saying that they've got a baby rabbit living in the back border of the garden, and Edward won't let her weed it in case she disturbs it. That's a really good excuse. I've got a baby rabbit in the living room, so I can't clean.
There you go. I think I've got a baby rabbit in every room of my house.
Yeah, I've got a baby rabbit and I'm frightened that the dogs will chase it. So what we need to do is sit on the sofa all day and ignore the cleaning and just get up to eat and drink.
Yeah, I think so. I like that. Can we all have baby rabbits everywhere now? That's gonna be a catchphrase. Have you got a baby rabbit?
Like, you know, Absolutely.
Oh yeah, is that because you've got a baby rabbit? Mm. Wink, wink. Oh, I love it.
Oh, Helen C says she likes a chart so she can see what she should be doing. Yeah, and I think for me it helps me to read where I am in the
Mm.
knitting to get a better idea of what's next.
Oh, I just love them.
And for me it makes it easier to spot mistakes because I've got a visual representation. When you get all of this, knit two, yarn over, knit two together, knit three, yarn over, knit two together, SSK, double yarn over or whatever. By the time you've got past the first instruction, I've lost the plot.
You don't know what you look away from your line at any point. So someone comes in and says, "Mom," and you look away and you're like, yeah. You go, where the hell am I?
Yeah, exactly that.
So yeah, it's too difficult. It really helps you to be able to read your knitting, so you can look at it. And
This merino.
it's a lovely colour.
It's
colour
really rich, kind of galaxy chocolate colour.
That colour would definitely look good on me.
Oh, Michelle says that Ickle Bun Bun is very happy listening today.
Michelle really does have a little rabbit in her front room.
She does have a little bum bum, but it's usually called things like minty pie crust, just to help moderate its naughty behaviour.
She shouted at me when I went round the other day.
Why?
Bun Bun. Because Michelle gave me some of her treat to give to her, and I was trying to get her to come out of her cage so that I could give it to her, and she didn't want to come out of her cage, and she shouted at me.
Oh well. I nearly got my fingers bitten off today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my mum was dropping off some Rington's hot chocolate for Jake, favourite grandson and all that. And she'd been given some little tiny chocolate squares from the hairdresser. Apparently, everybody that goes back to her after COVID gets a little chocolate gift as a thank you because she's pleased to see her customers again. As you can imagine, after so many months with no income. So she dropped. What?
Do you think many people won't go back to the hairdresser?
I haven't gone back, but it's not that I don't want to go. It's that I know she's super busy with people who spend a lot more than me.
Right.
And I want to give her a month to sort them out and then I'll go.
You're just in no hurry, but you will go back.
Yeah, I mean, I've trimmed the front, but it is driving me bananas. The back is quite long at the moment, almost to the point where I could make a tiny ponytail out of it.
You should.
I'd end up looking like one of those 1980s sort of film gangsters.
Do you remember like Tails?
Oh yeah, minging. Yeah, not good. Just not good.
No. So anyway, yeah, they came with the chocolates.
Yeah, they came with the chocolates, and I've done a bag for her of the ear savers. Sorry, I've just thrown my yarn on the floor. On a dog who then ran. So right. Yarn over the shoulder, then it can't run off. What did I do? I'd done the ear savers, and she wanted to send some to my granddad because he's got to go back into hospital middle of next month to have another cataract operation. He's either 95 or 96, and I can never remember which one it is. And every time I talk to him, he says it's a different one. Okay. So I've kind of given up trying to keep track. He's in his 90s.
Okay.
Close enough for me. Close enough for me. But he puts his mask on to go for his hospital appointments and the doctor's appointments, and when he takes it off, it pulls out his hearing aids.
Oh, bless.
So then he's got to find his hearing aids, and then the battery comes out of one, and then he's all this trying to see if it's working again. So I sent him some of the ear savers so that he can fasten it to that, and then it's not actually touching his hearing aid; it's going past his hearing aid.
Right.
So I've done my bit there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But apparently one of my cousin's little boys had a fall. He's nearly 2, he's baby George, which is my granddad's name.
Oh,
And he's gone a real planter, jumped from a step or something silly and hit the table with his face.
oh.
Yeah, that's probably how my granddad's wearing his mask actually. But Amy had the presence of mind to take him to A&E, who were fantastic. They are really good at our local hospital. Really, really good with him. And thankfully, he's not broken the cheekbone or the nose or anything else. Children are quite bouncy and resilient. But he's got an absolute shiner. He'd be proud of it when he was older.
Yeah, I love it.
He'll be one of those when he gets married, he'll be going, show the picture of me black eye.
Oh, bless.
No.
Gotta love them.
You can't watch them 24/7, my goodness. I know there seems to be this modern thing of parenting that you have to be absolute perfection. And I've only one thing to say to that. Stuff that for a game of soldier.
Well, we had, I think I might have been telling Anne about it. We always had this thing when Callum was little, because I lived out in Saudi for the first 2 years with him. And when he was little, if I was at home on my own with him during the day and Phil was at work and something happened to Callum, you know, maybe like knocked himself or he's trying to walk and he fell over a toy or whatever it was and he hurt himself, it was always, oh, well, shouldn't you have done this, or weren't you doing that, or why do you know what I mean? It was always you shoulda, coulda, woulda from my husband. Yeah, if he was the one that was in charge and I was having a bath or off down the library or whatever and I come back, it was always like, oh, but you can't watch them all the time.
Yes.
I was like, hang on a minute, what? Hey? Don't you just love them?
Yeah.
Oh, but of course he was just babysitting.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one. Just no, we're not going there.
I've already had one tonight. I thought I might try and encourage you to have a 10, but
no, I'm not going to bite. I'm just not. I'm not playing.
Go on, it's your turn.
I'm not playing. The only thing I will say is that men do not babysit their own children. It's called parenting, you lazy tosspots. Helen, I've told my mother not to risk going back yet. Infection rates are high around here. I don't need to go. She cut it short before lockdown and I'll wait till next year. Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, my mum insisted on going back to the hairdresser and there was just no stopping her. And to be honest, I could have gone and cut it myself. But one, I didn't want to, and two, I haven't been a hairdresser for 30-something years. So whilst I know what to do, I'm not particularly proficient.
I haven't gone, to be honest.
It'll settle down. It's a lot lighter now than it was the other day.
She stole my greys. Although actually, I think they're starting to come through already.
Yeah, it's because traditional hair dye doesn't actually cover grey, so it will fade out again.
I didn't want it covering. She just did not listen to me. When you say to somebody, the first things you say to them is, I want to try something new today, and you come out with the exact same hairdo that you've had every other time you've been for the last year.
Yeah.
They're obviously not listening, are they?
No. No. Yeah. Hopefully on Sunday, Emma's piles won't be quite so sore.
Oh my God, what is wrong with me tonight?
Do you know you've been for a colonoscopy or something?
I was quite chilled actually all day. Well, actually I wasn't chilled. I've been a bit frustrated because I couldn't get out in the garden. Maybe that's the problem.
It could be that. Could be that. Well, and then add alcohol, step back.
Yeah. I'm just like a toddler who hasn't been out to burn its energy off today, I think.
I should have gone on the treadmill.
Well, I've been for a run.
Well, just go back on the treadmill.
Oh,
And
Did I
stamp
tell
it
you
out. Stamp
I
it
went
out. Don't even walk. Just stamp.
I went on Tuesday
Ow! Will
because
somebody get their elbow off my foot? Thank you.
rude. My tummy wasn't feeling too great on Tuesday, so I didn't go for a run with the girls. I stayed at home on the
Right.
treadmill, which was a good job I did, but that's a different story. And I put my iPad on and put Hamilton on and ran with Hamilton on in the background. It was fab.
Oh, nice.
Although it was really hard work.
Did you not want to miss your shot?
I did not miss my shot, but I was feeling a bit helpless by the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I certainly wasn't satisfied.
How
Yeah.
sad are we?
Oh, don't. Look, I've even got my top on. I've been wearing this for a couple of days. Do you know what? I absolutely love this top because I love the cut of it. It's a really flattering lady cut. So I've just been living in it.
It's a nice one.
Mm.
I've got an old Evans. It's a light grey. It's not particularly flattering, but thankfully the grey is reasonably away from my face. But I can see that I'm losing my jawline definition in it, and my chest always looks red when I wear it.
It's not your grey.
It is definitely not my grey, but it's super comfy. So I keep it. And it's one of those ones that if I ever have to go to hospital, it's one that goes as part of my 90.
Ah,
That and some leggings. That'll be what it goes.
I tell you what I could share with you. I did find a few photos of me when I had crazy hair. Do you want to see some old photos of me?
Come on, let's have a snacky.
Okay, hang on. Right, let's have a look.
Did you have yours in bunches when you were little, or picked?
Oh, I'm not I'm not looking that far back. I'm thinking more 90s.
Oh, okay. You didn't have one of them ratty tail ponytail things, did you?
When I was really, really little, I had short hair. I think I was probably about 10, with spiked on the top and a rat's tail at the back. So you're talking sort of like mid-80s?
Yeah, it sounds like Rodney out of Only Phil's North.
Oh, I can't even, you can't even go there, I tell you. Right, let me see. Share screen. Share PDF or image. Oh, drop it like it's hot. This is different. Hang on. Are you ready? Let's see. Oh, what do I do now then?
I don't know. I can't see anything.
Well,
I can see you.
Oh, look, you can click lots of them. Hang on. Let's see if this works. What's that one? I don't know if that one. No, that one's not good. You don't want that one. Right, let's see. Present. See if that's working.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 21 years ago when I got married.
Right.
Oh no, it doesn't do. Oh, hang on, it doesn't do all of them. I thought it did it like a little slideshow, but it doesn't. Can you see that one now?
Yeah.
That was before I got married. That's my mum and my little brother who's adopted. And my hair's looking quite tame there actually. But I put that. Can you see the really sad little mobile phone on the hip?
Oh, is that the aerial? Yeah.
Yeah. I was so proud. It was my first mobile phone, and I thought I was the bee's knees.
Oh, yeah.
So that's in the 90. Well, I got married in 99, and I met my husband in 94. So it's somewhere between there. And then this is me and my stepdaughter. Now this is the one that I wanted to show you for my hair. Oh, it's horrendous. Look at those eyebrows.
Well, they're better than mine were in my long hair shot from the other week.
And I found this one, which is me and the kids when they were little.
Oh.
That was when we first went back to Saudi. So Caitlin's 3 and Callum's 5.
Oh, gosh.
Look at them. Doesn't Caitlin look just like me, the poor thing?
I was about to say how beautiful she was.
Yeah, the poor thing. She is a more beautiful version of me, but she does look like me. Oh.
She's adorable.
So those were some photos that I found, but I can't find the one that I really, really, really want to show you where my hair is properly triangular.
Oh, okay. Maybe get that out for Sunday.
I'll have another look and see if I can find it. It's just a bit scary, really. And the one where I've just had Callum, literally just given birth to him, and I'm sitting in the hospital bed with him in my arms, and I've got proper panda eyes. I need to try and find that.
We had just started something the size of a football. I think it's forgivable.
Well, yeah. And let's see if I can find the one. Did I ever show you the picture that I did with grey hair? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take 3 hours to load up.
And and you showed me the one of you as a bloke. That's really funny.
Yeah, no, this one.
Oh, Helen's saying Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, I did one for my brother and sister, and I am so rubbish at this. I wish I could work it better. Oh, opening Messenger. And I've got it on my phone, but I won't be able to find it to share. Right, shared photos. Let's see. Because it was in... It just takes forever for everything to load up. Why does it take forever?
You know, we were discussing about racism the other day. Someone was telling me that my county had like an online forum to discuss it and the impact.
All right.
And there's a BAME group called AWAZ who do a lot of support work, fantastic group. For various ethnic minority communities, including quite big Gurkha population we have in the north of Cumbria.
Right.
Really fantastic organisation, and they'd sorted all this out. And apparently the Police and Crime Commissioner had said that the police isn't systemically racist. It's not really a problem in the UK.
Where did you get that from?
And then got completely mauled and sat there wondering why. And I'm thinking, oh my God. You've been listening to your chief constable feed you lies about, oh, no, we don't have those problems here. Yes, you do, because I know recruits who've had people urinating in their boots.
Exactly.
And things like that. And the kind of hazing and stuff that goes on that's allegedly called banter, but is just racism.
That really annoys me. It's just bants.
Well, and then a counsellor said she really didn't like the word racism because it sounded a bit mean.
Really?
I'm thinking, I'm sorry, telling someone which fountain they can drink from or whether they can travel on a bus based on their colour, that's fundamentally mean and shit.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, I just have no words.
Yeah, I was a bit astounded. So I sent them all the links for that class divided Eye of the Storm thing with that Jane Elliott, where she splits the class with brown eyes and blue eyes, and really shows them what it's like to be judged by how you look for a couple of days.
Some people need it. Talking of judging by how you look, right, I'm going to show you this picture. I don't know if I've showed you this one before. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Are you ready?
Come on.
Can you see that?
Yeah, is that Brian May on the right? Is that you on the left?
That's me mashed up with Brian May. It's just that where Helen said Ozzy Osbourne, I was like, nah, actually, I think I look more.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you like that?
Yeah, he's got a bit more of a tan than you have, though.
My brother was like, no, I can't unsee it now.
He's never going to kiss you again. It's just, he'd be thinking it's like kissing Brian May.
What do you reckon?
Well, that might be his thing, who knows?
Well, you know, my brother did
after lockdown. Have you seen Celeste Barber's latest offering today
Oh,
with
is that
the photographs? The
the last one I saw? I think you put on where she's on the roller skates.
Oh, I love that. That was
Yeah.
so me. I probably couldn't have even stood up on the damn thing. Today's offering was there's this beautiful couple and they've got a pool outside in the garden and she's got a t-shirt over a bikini and she's leaned forward like this and he's got hold of the back of the t-shirt and he's holding her above the pool.
Okay.
And then it says us after 3 weeks of lockdown and Celeste and her husband, he's pushing her in.
Not even pretending to try
And
and
I just thought, yeah, that's actually marriage. That's
yeah,
what it's about.
yeah. That's
That's
what
a
it
real
is.
relationship.
I think in some ways I'm very lucky that we've ended up being locked down apart because otherwise we could have.
I'd have buried Mike in the garden because his
Yeah.
politics and mine are so different. And I think he's got to the stage now where he won't speak to me on the phone because he can't defend some of what's going on. Whereas before he could make excuses for it. And now he's got to the stage where he can't. So we just don't discuss it.
Yeah, it's just best not to.
Well, there's no point, is there? There's no point arguing for the sake of it. It's not going to change anything.
And you can't even have makeup sex, so what's the point?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just-
Nearest I've had somebody cop in a film was the doctor.
Yeah.
And it was the lady doctor. It wasn't the utterly gorgeous man doctor at the practice. Couldn't be
Right.
Phil, no. Had to be Sarah, who was lovely, I have to say. Very kind, but not the same.
It's not the same, is it? Actually,
No.
you know, like I do watch ITV in the mornings for the news, and Dr. Hilary has gone off on holiday, and they've got that Sarah Jarvis on, the ginger head doctor, and I think she's getting a lot of hassle. Actually, I don't know if it's the whole lady doctor thing, but normally everyone's like, "Oh, Dr. Hilary, we love you," and you know, he was going on about masks are worse than not wearing a mask and don't wear a mask, don't wear a mask, and then all of a sudden it's like wear a mask. And she was exactly the same. Yeah, he could get away with it, and everyone's like, all right, okay, Dr. Hilary's listening to the changed advice, and so we'll just wear a mask now because he's, you know, listening and he's changed his mind, blah blah blah. And then she does exactly the same, and everyone's going, but you didn't say that before. Why have you changed your mind? Why are you saying don't wear a mask and now you're saying wear a mask? I'm like, leave the poor woman alone. What? I don't know. Is it some people fundamentally against women doctors or something?
There are a core of men who are just fundamentally against women, full stop.
Misogyny, yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, she is in need of a haircut because she has her fringe go across there, and she was blinking constantly because the hair's in her eye and she won't move it, and I was getting a little bit frustrated with that.
Why not just get a hair slide or something, or a headband?
How can you listen to the important advice when you're being distracted by the fact that her hair's in the way? It was just a bit annoying. Can you hear my dog?
Sorry?
Can you hear my dog?
No, I can hear Mocha's washing Coco's ears, so I can hear that.
He's laid on the floor asleep, and he's going.
Oh, well. I'm not sure what to suggest. That might be a running, chasing dream, or it could be something much more fun.
I've never heard him making that noise before. It's a little bit worrying, actually.
Oh, mine will whoop whoop, and you'll hear like ooh, ooh. And then all of a sudden Coco will be out the bed, hackles up.
What have they been dreaming about?
I think somebody stole all the food from all the Labradors and they just had to. I think that's what it is.
Somebody has stolen all the drinks.
They probably are. Oh. Well, it's gone 8:30.
Yeah. So I brought my shawl in tonight in case I got cold.
Oh, that is so pretty.
That's I don't even know what it's called. Cumulus. Gorgeous, isn't it?
It's beautiful. I take it that the grey yarn is a very fine lace weight mohair, is it?
Yeah, it's mohair. It's actually the same colour. It's tealy bluey colour, but you can't tell.
Right. Okay.
It's actually surprisingly warm, so I can't even wear it. So it's hot. It's close.
It's not too bad here. It's not too
Yeah,
bad
it's
at
close.
all.
It's not going to be a fresh night.
It's
But
supposed to be bright sunny tomorrow.
somebody else has to walk the dog in the morning. It's not my day.
I'll have to be up and out early with them too. Jake's not here tonight. He's out with Rosie in town.
Cool.
They've gone for a few scoops at the pub.
Oh,
My idea, if someone says, "Do you want to go for a few scoops?" is sort of more Cumbrian cow ice cream, and the scoops are that big. But that's
I
kind of my
really,
few scoops, not. Yeah.
I wish I could eat ice cream. I've been watching MasterChef with Callum, and I've started craving all the things they're cooking. And the thing that they cooked, one of them cooked today, was chocolate bread and butter pudding with custard, and oh no, sorry, not custard, clotted cream ice cream.
Right. Okay.
And I just really wanted it, so I'm gonna have to make it with gluten-free bread and make the custard with rice milk and just hope and pray that it tastes anywhere near what it should do.
Well, I used to make custard with rice milk, and nobody knew.
I mean, I can make my own custard. It's one thing I did learn when I went to do that course. It's surprisingly easy. I don't understand why people get so het up about it.
It is very simple. It's
You
not.
just can't leave it. That's the thing.
Yeah, otherwise you end up with scrambled egg.
Oh yeah,
Sweet scrambled egg.
interesting scrambled egg. But I think I might give it a try.
I did some home done special fried rice with a Chinese chicken curry tonight for tea.
Tasty.
I thought it was lovely. I absolutely wolfed mine, and then Jake brought his down, and I could hear scraping. I said, "What are you doing?" Oh well, I put a bit much rice on my plate, and he did. Looking at what was left in the pan, he must have totally picked a pile of stuff. Plus, we'll put it in the dog dish then. Well, can they have that? I said, well, they can because there's no garlic in it. So made perfect sense to let them have it. So they've wolfed it, even with the vegetables, and they didn't pick out the tiny bits of carrot and stuff, which is unusual.
That's funny. You two are brilliant. Arthur will. The only thing I found that he won't eat leafy greens like spinach or lettuce leaves or something. Anything else, he loves. I always give him a big chunk of carrot off the end. He loves to chew on that. He loves cucumber, peppers, red peppers, tomatoes.
Yeah, I was telling you before I nearly got my fingers bitten off, and it's because Mum had brought some dog biscuits that Gareth, one of their neighbours, makes, and he
We've
uses
heard about
wholemeal flour and different flavourings, and the dark ones have got peanut butter in them and stuff like that. And they know, I'm sure they can smell my mother
Oh, they will,
at
yeah.
the path. And as soon as she knocks on the door, there's this pantomime of dog dancing and battling to get out to knock her over to get them off her.
Yeah.
Once she's gonna bring the package in and open it, and then I do not get a second of peace until they're all gone. And I'm saying take it nice, and generally that's enough. But the number of times my fingers got nipped today, just because, you know, these were too good. Coco was frothing at the mouth with excitement at one point. It was all a bit Cujo.
It's not nice, is it?
I was thinking, I'm glad I've not got jeans on because they'd just be like smeared with dog slobber. Oh, Helen is saying she's judged the pocket liner perfectly. Got to just have a few inches of yarn left after the cast off. Goodness, that was well done because you calculate, don't you? Your yardage.
Well done, Helen.
Oh, and she's saying it annoys her because she can feel it from when she was fringeless. Rita says that's beautiful, Emma. I think she's talking about your cumulus shawl. It's a really easy knit.
It is so.
But it'd be quite easy to do in a crochet ripple, wouldn't it?
I reckon. If I could crochet. I can
crochet.
I can crochet. I just can't crochet straight lines like that.
They're not straight lines though, they're ripples. You could do them accidentally, just set out doing a straight line. Or do you mean a straight edge?
Yeah, there, the straight line there, down the edge. That would be like that if it was crocheted.
Okay.
I'm really rubbish. I just can't do it.
We could call it deliberate asymmetry.
Oh yeah, it's a triangular shawl, not a rectangular stole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could do that.
I think we get away with that, and Rita wouldn't tell.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Oh, Helen, expect to see photos of how far you've got, if you can show us, of your
Might be allowed, won't they?
Well, that's why I'm saying if you can, in case it's a submission or whatever.
Super secret.
Lovely to see everybody. We will see you Sunday. Have we got anything planned for Sunday?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah, well, any suggestions, do let us know. If not, we'll think of something.
I'm sure we'll think of something. I can show my trolleys off.
You could show your trolleys off and we could discuss. Oh,
bedtime.
Oh, excuse me.
I want to discuss bedtime, maybe.
I got to that time because I generally go up about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
My mum couldn't believe it when she rang the other night and I didn't answer, and then she rang on my mobile and she said, "Are you out?" No, I'm in bed.
What time did she ring?
About 9:15.
Oh, that's rude. Anything after 8:30, I'm sorry, unless it's an emergency.
I said to her, ringing this time of night. People only phone me at this time of night if somebody's died.
Yeah.
Or they've had a website hacked and they want me to stay up all night and sort out the mess.
Yeah. or they want bailing out of jail.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Oh, Rita said it's been fun. It's been lovely to see you, Rita. Thank you.
What, even with me on my soapbox? I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Emma's just having one of those weeks.
I am having a day. I'm sorry. I do apologise. I will have regret in the morning.
I think on Sunday we should have a look at some of your former magazine patterns that are now available separately.
Cool. And yours.
And chat about inspirations and what led us to it, because I hate submissions. I hate that they've got a theme and they've got an idea, and I like to come up with my own thing, and I don't like that they rename stuff. It's like my songbird shawl, which is one of my, I think it's my most popular shawl, not that I've done many, but that was actually called 3 times a lacy. Because of the 3 lace patterns, and I wanted to do a series based on song titles. So yeah, it's odd little things like that you find out just in conversation. So I thought we might have a bit of fun with
about that on Sunday. That sounds fun. I'll get some of my samples if I can find them.
Yeah, I've got a few I could dig out. But possibly 1 or 2 of the magazines as well, kicking around.
Cool.
So yeah, we'll see you on Sunday. So I'll start doing buttons and